Hey, so I wanted to follow up to my video just now. So a common question that people have and wonder before they're selling their house is, what's the cost to remodel? How much is it going to cost me? And then of course on the flip side, if I remodel, how much am I of a return on investment am I going to get? What's actually worthwhile as an investment? So I'll be covering that, but before I jump there, I actually wanted to jump into the Magna School program and talk a little bit more about that, just in case you are interested in entering a high school that does have a Magna program. Hey Sean, how's it going? Hope that flight works out for you. Have you flown before? So in the meantime, at the Poolsville High School, there are 4 different houses. So you can think, very Game of Thrones or Harry Potter like, where there are different houses that you can join, or I guess clans and whatnot. But at Poolsville High School, the Magna program has 4 different houses. So there's the Global Ecology House, there is the Humanities House, the Independent Studies program, and Science, Mathematics, and Computer Science House. Okay, so what are all of these? Well, you can probably guess based on the names of the houses, but the Global Ecology House has to do with science, social studies, research, and field studies. Then the Humanities House focuses on English, which was my college major, social studies, and research. Then I'll skip over the Independent Studies program, but Science, Mathematics, Computer, and Science House talks about advanced science, math, computer science, research. Now, Independent Studies program. If you do not fit to the other 3 schools, then you will get put into the Independent Studies program. So that includes things like biological and physical science, cultural and political studies, music, arts and media studies, which is my jam as well, technology and math studies, as well as original studies. So these are 3 specifications. There are teachers who get together, they specialize in this, but that's something that's unique about the Poolsville High School Magnet program, which I believe the school is part of. Now, let's move over to renovations, right? I'm filming this in the kitchen just because we're just so proud of how everything turned out, especially when you go and take a look at what it looked like before. But when you come to the open house, I actually have a price sheet for you so you know exactly what renovations were done, when. All of them are 2018. So, for example, the refinished hardwood floors and stairs. So these are the hardwood floors, and then there are the stairs back there. To refinish that, the cost about, and these are all estimates, but $12,500. Remodeling all the bathrooms cost $17K. Repainting the entire interior. So this is the grayish color, which is really popular now. It's a very neutral color. The whole idea is that when you repaint your house, you want to paint it a color that not necessarily is what you want to live in, because you're not going to be living in the house if you're selling it. You want it to feel like a blank slate, so that when people come into the house, it feels neutral. It doesn't feel like somebody else's house necessarily. So that's why we stick with this grayish color. Now, I think my phone is kind of impacting a little bit, but that's kind of what the color we're looking at. Hey Jane, how's it going? And then, so that costs about $5,000, the interior and exterior door replacements, because the doors are new. Total cost about $7,100. Now the kitchen remodel, dun dun dun, this is the big one, right? So again, if you haven't seen the kitchen, this is not what it looked like. Everything is brand new here, and there used to be a wall, exactly where I'm standing right here, that got knocked down. So that entire kitchen remodel cost $29,000. Updated lighting and electrical circuits, a little bit over $5,700. New HVAC and water heater. That's actually a very common thing that people worry about when they move into a house. It's something that oftentimes goes neglected because nobody really thinks to look at the HVAC and the water heater until they're about to sell their house. So that cost about $9,200. Again, all of this was replaced in 2018. New tile and carpet flooring, $7,550. New drywall and trim molding. So that's this right here. All of this along the floor, all of this along the top. It's just a really, really nice detail. And it, hey Jane, there we are, I'm gonna wave back. It just adds a really, really nice touch to the house. It's just, classy, and it's all around. I don't know if you joined me on that other tour from before, but it's just all over the house. So that cost $10,000. The roof, the siding, the gutters, $25,000. New concrete sidewalk, so that's the entranceway. That's actually a very common area, especially with older homes, that the concrete, just over time, naturally, because of weight, gravity, people walking on top of it, the concrete sinks. There are cracks, you'll see it, especially if there's a step up. It's very, very common. These sellers didn't want you to have to deal with that, so they just went ahead and poured brand new concrete, and that cost $1,500. New plumbing and insulation, so the house will be, stay at great temperature throughout. $9,000. Window replacements, right? All these windows over here. Windows over here. I mean, as you walk through the whole house, you can see that the windows are new and they're very, very nice. $1,400. Interior railing refurbishing. So that's the railing on the staircase over there. So that's $400. Custom mailbox. It's a nice, large, oversized mailbox, really easy to spot. It's actually one of those things that a lot of people neglect. Doesn't necessarily increase the value of the home in terms of on that monetary front, but it certainly is just a very, very nice feature that people can drop off packages in that mailbox, rather than just kind of leaving it on the doorstep where some rando Calrissian can come by and pick it out. And $500. Laundry room box out. So all of the, you know what? I can just go down and show you, but that costs about $900. So it's getting a little bit late here, so excuse the dark lighting. So what is a laundry room box out? Okay. When you get into the laundry room, inevitably you have pipes, you have wires, you have all sorts of electronic equipment, all that type of stuff. And it takes up space. Hey Aaron, how's it going? So they decided to do what's called a box out. So rather than having that all exposed, it's really ugly, they boxed it out. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So nice and neat, out of the way, non-offensive. This is the laundry / mudroom, by the way. Isn't that nice? So very consistent all throughout. So that same grayish, the tile all throughout. So that laundry room box out alone cost $900. So we're looking at about a grand total of $141,800 worth of renovations put into this home. And that's going to be there for whoever decides to buy the house. So thanks for joining me on this quick little thing. I just wanted to talk about the schools, and I think that hopefully you found that helpful, and a bit about the renovations. Now, of course, renovations will always vary in cost depending on what level, right? Are you going to just go for the bare minimum, or are you going to just really go all out, with the nice cabinetry, the nice countertops? Are you going to, when you renovate the bathroom, just again do the bare minimum, and or are you really looking to get the most out of your home possible? And as well as square footage, right? When you're painting, the larger your home is, obviously more square footage that needs to be painted. Little details like this guy. Replacing the outdated chandelier with something just, kind of just nice, a little bit more, modern, but not like offensively so. So, hope you found that video useful. Look through the previous walkthrough so you can see the entire house during the daylight, where it's just absolutely gorgeous, and a walkthrough of all of the great features. The video from a little bit earlier where I talk about some of the cool gadgets throughout the house. So, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you at tomorrow's open house. Take care.